the Solar One Sci-Fi Podcast.
This is episode 202 of the Solar One Sci-Fi Podcast. I'm Michael Ball. I'm joined by my colleagues Martin and Malcolm. Martin's sci-fi appeal by the gods of science fiction as well. Yeah, but I saw something recently on your Facebook.
I know. It won't go away.
Because I thought, has he changed his name back or something? And I thought, how come? So I wasn't sure how to announce you this week.
I've changed everything, and it still goes back to that.
Okay, so I thought you'd. Okay, that's fine. And obviously Malcolm. I mean, you've got a Facebook. You've got a YouTube channel, haven't you? Or you're on YouTube. Is it something you share, or is it just something you use as a reference to look at stuff?
No, I just watch stuff on it. I don't broadcast.
Yeah, you don't. All right, so we won't give out your YouTube channel name and all that sort of stuff. All right, guys. So first of all, how are you both? How are you, Martin? How are you? Apart from you having problems with Zoom, he's got a new Zoom. He's literally banging his head against the desk with frustration because he's look at his expression. Looks very puzzled and very bewildered by it all, mate. It's technology. It's great, isn't it?
I know.
Don't you just love it?
It's no. I've removed everything. I reversed my entire house.
Oh, I think I say reverse the polarity of your neutron flow.
Yeah, I've reversed everything. Yeah, it's totally different now.
Oh, is it? Okay, so what is it? Just something you fancy doing, or is there any particular reason?
I don't know. I just got inspirational on Friday. It took me 3 days.
Oh, okay. And you're happy with it?
Yeah. No,
Have you still got the Solar One Sci-Fi poster that I made about 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah, of course, it's in the centre of the room. And wait, so when do I receive the second one?
We have got 17 more thumbnails to go, and then the second one will be finished.
I thought we'd done 200 on second.
No, because if you remember, the first one goes up to 209. No, yeah. So it's got to 109. So it's going to be 218 for the second poster to be done.
Oh, okay. Right. Well, I apologise.
Exactly.
I apologise. I didn't know. No.
No, for some reason when I did it, it was very hard to do it. But each line of pictures is 9 along.
Well, do you want to transfer you some money?
No.
No.
I didn't offer. Oh, I didn't say I was going to get you one.
No, don't pay for it.
No. Look, I mean, let's wait until we get it done. I mean, obviously,
okay.
They are fun.
Right. So we've got another Christmas.
It'll be in about sort of like Jan, February. We should. Well, depending.
Okay.
I mean, we're looking at slowing down a bit in the new year, aren't we? So we'll have to see how it goes. But
right.
Is that still the case, or is it something you don't want to properly announce yet, or what?
Announce what?
You said that you were going to step down a bit on the weekly podcast.
If I've applied for financing for films, it's looking like I could be getting it, and if it does, I'm going ahead with a big project with some other people. It's going to start taking up time.
Yeah, but
that's going to be January or February. I'll know by then.
All right. I mean, we could always do it once every fortnight. I mean, obviously, if you don't mind.
No, I'm all right until that gets. There's 4 other people involved, and it's quite a big project. This is like, it's taking a lot of time up at the moment, but I will let you know. I'd rather not say on air. And
no. I mean, no, like I said, it's only early days. It's just in the future, then we might have a change.
That's why I need to take I might have to take a step because all my energy is focused on that.
Yeah,
you see.
That's all right. No worries.
Would you be up for doing the artwork again?
Yeah, of course I could. I can either do it Photoshop or AI.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm just waiting now. It's just. But January or February. So
I mean, we won't say any more because this is being recorded. Will be going out. So, like I said, I won't say any more than that. All right, okay.
No information has been given. So.
No worries, that's fine. Malcolm, how are you doing in sunny London? Well, it's not sunny, is it?
Yeah, not too bad.
All right.
Yeah. No, I'm all good. Martin. Just so very quickly. So this is.
Hang on.
These bits I plan to try and find a place that works with Perspex.
Is that a gun, or are you simply pleased to see me?
Yeah, exactly. So I want to try and get these done in Perspex by a proper firm
So you've done that. So how have you done that? You made that with.
This is 3D printed.
Wow. Look at him, boys with their toys. Go on, let's have a look at yours.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Which one's the bigger one though? Is the one that's most? It's the
Yes, I
size
know
that
it looks
counts.
like a sex toy. I know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's all right. That's it. Put it on. Yeah. I
I've
have
got I'm looking for a Liberator at the moment, and I want the communications teleport bracelet.
Oh, hang on.
I've ordered
Oh,
that. I've
blimey.
ordered that.
Well, you know,
So
I see.
again,
Go
so
on.
I have all the various components of a Liberator. I just need to put it together.
Oh,
All right.
wow. That's
How
brilliant.
big is it? How big is your Liberator? How big is it?
It's 80 centimeters, I think, maybe, like
Oh,
lengthwise.
oh,
Yeah.
really? It's that big?
Yeah, pretty big.
And how did you
Yeah,
did you do it? Did you get it printed yourself, or how did you get it?
I printed it.
You got a
I
pretty
printed.
good printer then. You got must have quite a big printer.
Well, this is my old printer that wasn't quite so good. The new one's full on.
Is it a big, large platform
So,
then?
yeah, so this is not a very detailed model either. There is a newer one. If you go to Gambody, they have a really detailed one.
Yes.
And I might reprint that one.
Brilliant.
Right.
And obviously you're gonna paint it up, get all the stuff on the.
That's been sat there in pieces for about 3 years.
Oh,
So,
really?
I'm not fast at finishing things, and I really need to be.
Well, make sure you don't lose all your bits. I mean, how many
Well-
bits is it in?
12 maybe.
Yeah.
Some of the
I mean,
bits it's a lot more, but some of the bits are glued together now.
I mean, the only thing I did was I 3D printed a load of Star Trek starships, which are on my wall, which look quite
Yeah, I've
good.
seen them. You sent the picture of
Oh
them.
yeah, and I was quite pleased with that. And I used to have a large 2001 Discovery,
Yeah.
and that was pretty cool. But when we moved house, it kind of just fell apart, and we just decided to get rid of it. So, hang on,
Yeah, so to show you how bad it is, the first thing I ever printed was
Go on.
this. And you can see that it's still
I like
nowhere
that.
near finished.
I actually like the colour scheme to that as well.
well, no, if that's the default, what's it
Yeah.
called?
This is just this is just the colour of filament. I just
Filament,
need to
that's
actually
it.
just paint it
Love
and
it.
get done with it. But it's like I say, it goes up on the shelf and then just sits there forever.
Well, I could have got that full size TARDIS. It was for sale in my local area. You weren't very impressed with email.
I
thought
thought
it
the
was really
paint
cool.
job at the top was awful.
I thought, no,
Well,
it
thought
needed
looked quite
refurbishing,
cool,
but
that.
I thought it was.
I was.
Yeah, I mean,
tempted.
Sand
I
it down and
was tempted
repaint
on
it. It'd probably be
I
all right.
thought it
but
was a
nowhere
dog's
near-
bollocks. If I had
It's
like,
not
if
even
I,
worth 1,500 quid. You could make one yourself for less than that.
I
Yeah,
don't,
you
I don't know. I mean, the photos seem to be of different ages of it because some of them look really good, but one or two look like it was really a bit sort of like
Yeah. One of them looked like brand new, and one of them looked like sat in the garden for 6
for
years.
about 5 years exactly. So I know what you're saying, Malcolm, but I still loved it. Though. I still liked it.
I'm after a Dalek, mate. Is what I've been looking for. So
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 would
I've
you?
got the files to print 3 different full-size Daleks as well.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I more than.
Yeah, there's one Patreon I belong to, so it's got the parts to print full-size 1-to-1. B9 from Lost in Space, Robbie the Robot, K9, all 3 drones from Silent Running, 3 different kinds
not
of
Huey Lewin Dewey. Oh bloody
3
hell!
different kinds of Dalek, the medical droid, Chappie, Short Circuit, I think he's working on now. Tweaky he's working on now. Maximilian Vincent. I know he did a Bob that was all kind of clean, and he wants to now do a bashed up Bob. And I think there's a couple more as well, but I can't really remember what they are.
Is Bob from the Black Hole?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, brilliant. I'd say it's amazing. I mean, is it quite expensive with all the filament to get these things printed out, or is it? What is it
The
like?
film is cheaper than you think, but then obviously you get some failures here and there, and
Yeah. Somebody on it.
it's not as bad as you think.
Somebody on that said 3D printed an entire size Terminator.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I've got them files for that as well.
Yeah.
I printed most of the head, full size head, but I've got the files to do a complete.
I've got that.
I've got a smaller head. Hang on, let me get that. Let's all get up there. Hang on. Right, listen on audio. This is actually not the best thing for people who are watching audio, but it pretty much come out there. It's all right.
Oh yeah. Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, I'm quite. I mean, the paintings. I mean, it's not the best paint job, but it actually came out quite well.
I'll show you just while we look at Martin's. Yeah, you see, so I've got a full size one like that, but it's still not complete.
Okay, this is great. Look at us all our Terminators. There we go. This is really funny, actually. There we go. So that's yeah. So Martin's looks good, and mine's all right. Mine's not the best paint job, but it's very hard to 3D print. Oh,
So I have one like Martin, which is being done, and then I've also this is the first one I finished.
Oh, I like that. Oh, cool.
Brilliant. And that's the
Did
film
you
you're
do that
going-
yourself, that one?
So I printed it myself, but I didn't design the model.
Oh wow, yeah, like thinking first or something.
Very
Brilliant.
nice.
I love it. It's amazing what you can do these days, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good
Oh.
fun.
Okay, guys. So obviously, sorry, my mic just went slightly loose for a second. We're going to talk about one more discussion about Alien Romulus. So I think we'll just talk about generally about the franchise.
Oh, one question.
Go on. But I've got some news first as well. But go on, Martin.
Yeah, how far did you get into season 2?
Episode 3. I watched the first one with the Travis Mark II.
Ah, okay.
I didn't like. He's a tosser. I like Travis.
He is in
Mark
that
I.
episode. He is in that episode. But if you accept the fact of what's happened to him, it does kind of explain. His
Like, you
attitude
can
going
appreciate
forward.
there's a bit of adjustment from the Travis.
But yeah, when he first steps out, you think, "Oh, fuck off."
Yeah, that's what I thought basically. Yeah, it's exactly what I thought, Malcolm. So, but is he in it a lot, the Travis Mark II, or is he like?
He's in more episodes than Travis One was in the first series.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
I'll just keep that in mind. That's all. I'm spoilers, but yeah, I haven't sort of like been rushing through it because we've obviously reviewed it, but yeah, I'm sticking with it, and it's got some good characters and stuff. So
Next Monday, Blu-ray.
I cannot wait, mate. Next Monday. I'm hoping to get it at the weekend. It's pre-ordered.
Sometimes it comes. Sometimes it comes early.
well, hopefully,
I will let you know when it comes. I will be.
and the digital.
Yeah,
will be out there.
I really cannot wait for this. I'm right excited.
It's actually interesting. I'm linking up with talking of physical media or even digital versions because obviously Doctor Who is very prevalent on iPlayer. But I wanted to talk about this. I don't know if you are aware.
Not
of
all
this,
the episodes, though.
This is exactly what I wanted to mention. It's all going a bit tits up on iPlayer. I've got a list here of the
I've heard
episodes.
that.
No, I've got them all here. So obviously the original episode.
Zygons, the remote.
Yeah, hang on. The Terror of the Zygons is no longer on iPlayer. The
Right.
Seeds of Doom is no longer on iPlayer. Destination Scarrow, that terrible Davros human crap from last year, Children in Need, is only on for another 12 days at the time of recording. Also, there's a musical celebration at the Proms thing, that's no longer on iPlayer. And the Daleks in Colour, the one that was colorized last year, that's only available for another less than 3 weeks.
That would just be because for those newer ones, that will literally be because that's all they buy the rights in small chunks at a time, so they will be back. The same as Terror of Zygons and probably Seeds of Zoom will be back as well once they renegotiate new contracts. What you'll probably never get again is Unearthly Child because the guy from that
he's a
massive racist, and he just because they've done like a woman doctor and a black doctor, he's just removed it and said I don't want.
Oh, I didn't know that. Is that what
I read that?
Oh,
I read that the other day. Allegedly, I'll put.
I was going to say,
but I read that on a thing the other day.
Yeah.
That is the reason he's done it.
I was worried. I was just going to cover ourselves. Allegedly, we're not saying that.
Yeah, allegedly. So I read on, I believe, ScreenRant.com, which I don't really like Screen Rant, but it just happened to be the one that popped up at the time. But they were quite brutal about it.
Oh, I thought it was just money. I thought it was just that he didn't get
So
money.
if you've got BritBox, apart from Unearthly Child, all the episodes are still there.
Okay.
Like so, and ITVX, which now owns BritBox, all the episodes are still there as well. And it's probably because they paid a lot more money to do it a lot longer, and they will start dropping off and going and getting renegotiated. Would be my guess.
But obviously, this is UK website, so not, if people are watching from abroad.
Yeah, well, BritBox was international first. It's like Australia and America, and then it came here.
Oh, so
and then it got bought by ITVX.
Okay, so I'm not familiar with what's happening abroad from the UK. I mean, I've got a digital copy of everything and a physical copy of most of it anyway. But it's going back to, it's the fact that you can't always rely on streaming. These things get taken off, which is why I think that there is becoming more of an increased kind of interest again. And think, well, actually, physical media, they can't cut bits out because it's upsetting somebody. They can't take it off because John Smith, who wrote episode 5 like 20 years ago, doesn't, it's all this crap. At least if you buy something or your digital copy, it's yours. you can't muck about with it, and it can't be
Yeah,
taken
and I
away.
mean, like with the streaming thing, I know people complain about the fact that I don't want to see them edited, but I know people complain that they've got disclaimers at the front. And as I
Yeah.
said before, I don't have a problem with the disclaimers at all. If the disclaimer means a young kid just says, "Oh, Daddy, what does it mean that some of the language used?" and the dad says, "Well, you can't use words like this, and this, but you did back in the day." That's it. It's fine. The kid now knows. Don't do it anymore. It's not like just putting it on screen and the kid walks away and goes back to school and starts calling people what he's seen on TV. You know, they kind of done all they can to prevent that.
Yeah. I mean, I get a bit irritated myself by it. I know what you're saying, Malcolm, but I just kind of like, I don't know. I suppose, like I said, if it's your own physical media, you don't get disclaimers. You know, it's all yours. You can choose it. You can, yeah. As you say, I mean, the world is changing, and of course, you know, kids are looking at stuff from back in the day with things which are no longer tolerated in modern society. So you
It's
can
quite funny. I mean,
understand.
like a lot of people go on about 40 Towers in the episode The Germans.
Oh,
And the
dark.
Germans,
I
was
know
fine.
that. Yeah.
That is nowhere near the worst part of 40 Towers. The worst part
No, the
is
major,
the communications
yeah,
problems
yeah,
with
yeah,
mates that
yeah,
does his
yeah,
cricket
yeah.
speech.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
We
the
all,
worst one they ever
we're not gonna elaborate, but we all know that speech.
No,
And it was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah,
If,
yeah,
if you've never watched it, go and watch that one.
yeah,
Go and watch that
exactly.
thing.
But
And
like I said,
that's a wow fuck moment.
is that? Do you think that's still being shown, or was it edited
Yeah.
out?
It's 100%. It's still the last I looked. It's still on ITVX or
Not
was
even that.
Britbox.
Not even the word in question.
The whole thing is
brought
not
out.
edited at all. They just put a disclaimer at the front, and even something like Only Fools and Horses, what they've edited out is like just odd bits and pieces, like where music rights are not
That's
there
right.
anymore.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So there's one quite funny scene, a Christmas episode, where they're all dancing in silence because they've just removed the music and it's silence.
Normally they replace it with a sort of they try and do similar.
But they didn't
don't
on this. I was watching it the other day and they didn't. There's one Irish joke that they removed, but then there is a very demeaning term for a corner shop owner, which all three of them use multiple times that they've never removed. They use it all the time.
Isn't that strange? You would think it'd be more consistent rather than certain. It was yeah. I mean, I watched a copy of the Runaway. What's the one with the Runaway Bride? I think it's Doctor Who, the one with the first time we saw Donna Noble. And this copy was fine. It had a warning at the beginning, but the one word that they kept editing out was the word hell. What the hell are you doing? And I thought, hell?
Which is kind of Donna's catchphrase. I don't really.
Yeah, you know what?
What the hell? Yeah,
In the episode, and the episode, she was edited, or the word was edited 8 times.
Wow.
I just thought, is that
You
really?
just reminded me. I watched a YouTube video the other day that I found quite interesting, and it's on YouTube. I'll send it to you the link. It's things you never saw in Doctor Who that were in plain sight. It's all mostly rubbish, but one of them is, you've got that kind of weird Dalek writing, like their names are written on it now and all that. In the first season, some of that writing appears in every single episode. So the same as Rose made Bad Wolf appear everywhere. There's Dalek script in every episode. Like, so the very pilot episode, the shop window where the mannequins are, it's on the wall next to them. She opens, when Donna's mum opens the door to the police officer, there's like some boards down by the side of her, and they're all that Dalek script. But seemingly, it didn't show them all in the video, but it did say apparently, according to R.T. Davis, it's in every episode. You will see Dalek writing somewhere that they.
But we never got an answer why that was there.
No, just presumably it's the same. It just happened when Rose spread
a lot of TV shows do that. It's like they put the Easter egg of what it's all about in the first episode, but you've got to see it. Yeah. Star Trek Discovery did it with Lorca. In his first scene, he's looking at himself in the window, his reflection.
Oh, okay. You told me about that before. You talked about that before.
I never, when I first saw it, you're not thinking, but there it is, and it focuses on that reflection, the mirror.
The problem is when you watch the Star Trek Discovery, any episode in that, it's always like, what the fuck is this all about, kind of thing. So
I still remember being so excited. I watched that episode when I was at work in my lunch break, and I was so excited to see it. I streamed it because it was on Netflix, I think. And and just from beginning to end, it was just like, what the fuck is this? And it just went downhill from there.
That was terrible.
Downhill massively. But never mind. It's finished now. It's done. We can erase it from our minds.
And what's
He
this
can't.
about?
He can't
Love
erase
it.
that.
Fair enough.
What's this about Sony and Stargate?
I know that obviously Jay on Sidetrack and other people are saying that that we keep hearing these different things like it
I've
might
seen
be
it on other
might
sources.
be on Amazon, it might be going to Sony, but we never hear anything. It's still
Yeah,
up in the
Sony are
air.
going to be making it for Amazon, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. They're
Yeah,
affiliating with
yeah.
that.
This is the thing. Sony they don't really make their own stuff. They make stuff for other people. So,
Yeah.
for instance, RTD Davis is what is it? Bad Wolf Corporation. That's part owned by Sony. So
Yeah.
Sony have more of a say than Disney do in what happens in current Doctor Who.
Yeah, well, I have no idea about what's going to happen in the future Doctor Who, as we've said many, many times before. Yeah, I mean, who knows? What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, yeah, there's a new trailer for Skeleton Crew. Wasn't very impressed. It
That
was.
just looks. The kids are going to love it. The kids will love it. Like Prodigy, they'll be all over it, and good for them. That's fine. And there was another series, a Marvel one that was clearly made for kids. The Kamala thing, where she has the Miss Marvel,
Miss Marvel.
Little Marvel. Yeah, yeah. So, and again, that was
I've
made
not
for kids
seen
as
it.
well. I watched the first episode, and I just thought, well, this is too kiddie for me. I
I
might go
did.
back and watch it again.
Yeah.
I finished Agatha at the weekend. I've got to say I did quite enjoy it, actually. I thought it was
I'm
quite
about
good.
halfway through, and I just can't motivate myself to carry on with it.
I
Really.
quite enjoyed it. Simple viewing Saturday night. It was well, brilliant, but it was enjoyable.
My only prediction, like that, I mean, they mentioned in the last episode I watched, he said he's not your son, but I'd already kind of thought before that she probably is going to turn out to be his son. Either that, or the weird woman is going to turn out to be her daughter or some such.
I've not seen it.
What's her name? Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a slug to get to the end.
I'm seeing a bit more on this Section 31 Star Trek TV movie.
Yeah, I just had something new on my YouTube come up about that.
Can't bother with
It
it.
looks like shit. I will watch it.
Honestly, I wasn't that impressed with any of the Section 1 stuff that was in DS9. I thought they were some of the worst episodes. Absolute nonsense. And as I've said before, I don't really like Michelle Yeoh, and her Captain Giorgio character is one of the worst she's ever done.
I like Section. I like
drawing me into that one.
I like Section 31 in DS9. I thought that when
I do.
William Sadler was brilliant.
He made it mysterious.
But after DS9 was fine. Anything else like the Kelvin version, and then we've seen them now in Discovery. I kind of like. I still think they were very good in DS9, but that's just me. I think you agreed, didn't you, Martin? It was when they first came along. It was quite an interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
thing.
I like him, William Sadler, but
William Sadler's great.
I just didn't really gel with me any of the episodes.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I don't know. Any other news, guys? Anything else you want to share with the world? I mean, it's not been a lot going on. It's still a bit of a.
No. I just did my twice yearly Harry Potter rewatch over the last couple of days.
I've never got into Harry Potter actually.
I like Harry Potter.
No, I never got into it. I never did.
I didn't like the spin-off movies. Where young Dumbledore.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the first one, but the other two.
Never liked it. Honestly, I've just watched 2 or 3. I can see that they're good. I just never got into them.
I actually thought the final film of Harry Potter was really good. It's great payoff.
Obviously, that's a whole line that the books are so much better. So they're talking about making a new TV series. If the TV series is closer to the books than it is to the films, it may well be better. If they try and
that would be huge. I reckon that'd be huge.
The books are so different, really, in many ways. They're massively different, and there's a lot more in them.
That's interesting. Well, I mean, that's one thing that they're bound to make a ton of money from doing a new.
I'm going to buy Borderlands tomorrow. Is that any good?
What, you're going to buy the film?
Yeah.
Oh, don't get him a copy.
Star Trek The Next Generation. We're trekking across the universe.
But it's out there.
You can watch it on that. Yeah, if you've got Android stuff, download that Cinema HD. You can watch it on that.
Okay, right, okay. So there are, Martin. Check it out wherever. But this is not from us. Obviously, we're not giving any links or anything. And
no, I've heard it's
I get the impression there's going to be a huge edit in the middle of this when it goes out.
Right. I've heard
Yeah,
it's going to be like...
suddenly we're all going to be over here talking about something completely different.
Right.
No comment. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Actually, I think I will do an edit now. So obviously this.
Yeah, I
bit
mean,
is
we can
not,
beep
yeah,
over that.
Yeah.
Beep. There'd just be everybody just get the emergency warning signal for about 3 minutes. Beep.
No, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do some interference kind of thing, as if it's kind of like VHS. Yeah. So look out for that. People won't know, but it'd be okay. Right, moving swiftly on. Shall we go to our focus of the week?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
It's the
Solar Sci-Fi.
focus of the week.
Okay, so we have talked about this a lot, and I know we weren't quite sure, but I think it just needs one more 10-minute, 15-minute chat about this film that we've seen. And actually, I've got 10 minutes left on this Zoom already, so it'd be a 10-minute conversation. Yeah. So, obviously, we've focused on this a lot. Martin and I are both really into it. Malcolm wasn't quite so, but you said you might check it out again. Let's just start with Martin. Of course, we've been watching Alien for a long time. I've been watching it since... I don't know how old I was when I first saw Alien, but it was released in 1979. I probably saw it in like the early to mid-80s when I was about 10 or 11 or something, even though I was underage. And I was quite blown away, especially by the original Alien. I preferred it to Aliens. I've always liked that. The same with James Cameron with Terminator and Terminator 2. I've always preferred the originals. So, okay, this is a franchise which has been going... It's been a bit dead for in recent years. We've had Prometheus, we've had Covenant... very mixed bag. I actually didn't mind either of them. I think Prometheus was better than Covenant, but I liked elements of it. So, was it... Let's just ask this first of all. Do you both think it was worth bringing back the franchise in this form, or should they just left it alone? So, let's ask you first, Malcolm, because of course, you got your criticism of the film, which is fair enough. What do you think?
In terms of the film itself, it was only really the third act that I didn't like. The ending of it. As soon as they had come out with self-aiming guns, I was kind of lost, and it went downhill from there. But from what you're saying about bringing it back, yeah, it's a big franchise, and if you've ever followed any of the comics, the whole Weyland-Yutani stuff is so much better. And to be honest, given what we see at the beginning of them on that planet, I reckon there's a whole entire TV series or a couple of films just about Weyland-Yutani themselves, like not even including the xenomorphs, just what a shitstorm fucking Weyland-Yutani themselves are.
Yeah.
Just a dystopic fucking world. They could get at least 2 or 3 series out of that and not even have to mention the xenomorphs again. But yeah, there's always a story there. They're always going to keep going after them. And like I say, some of the comics have done really well in these nefarious villains that have caught them and have bred queens, and it all goes fucking horribly wrong and what have you, and they catch people, and kind of like the script for season 4 that was such a, or the film 4 that was such a mess. The comics did it so much better. So yeah, it's good to bring it back. There is scope for it. Anything that can wipe away AVP, really.
Well, yeah.
Which I don't even think fits into the timeline anymore.
Well, it doesn't make any sense, Alien versus Predator. No. I mean, I suppose you have to concede that in some ways, though, that the franchise does have its limitations. I mean, there's only so many times you could be running down a spaceship hiding from a xenomorph trying to kill them or whatever. I mean,
yeah, I mean, one of the big scenes in that is when the face huggers, they walk in through that room of face huggers, and the guy's like, "Oh, I've raised the temperature so they can't see you, but don't make a noise." And the guy immediately makes a noise, and the face huggers pretty much do fuck all. Now, anyone who's ever played any of the huge array of Aliens games on computers will know that the face hugger scenes are the best. When you are there and these things are coming at you and you're just manically fuck off and all that will get a heart pumping, and that's how that scene should have been. That should have been a mad run through that room.
But that's because you're a gamer. That's because you're a gamer. See, I'm not a gamer, so
the guy's radio starts and he replies to it, and all you see is that one face hugger go like that. But these things are fast. They attack quickly. They react immediately. You know, when Kane very first looks in the egg, there's nothing, man. That thing smashes out in fucking seconds at him, microseconds. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of scenes they did well, and a lot of them that they kind of didn't really. Overall, I think the film was good. It's just the third act wasn't very good.
Yeah. Well, let's come to you then, Martin. So again, we talked about this. Give me your perspective on the film now that it's been out for a while, and obviously you've digested it and seen it at least once.
Look, it offered nothing new, did it?
No. Not really.
Did it? What kept me into it was the pacing of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with Malcolm. It's how many more films do we want where we've got an alien running down the dark
I think that's
corridor?
what I'm saying. I mean, they're making a TV show.
And I agree. Aliens Futures now is not in the Xenomorphs. It's Wayland Yutani and the engineers. This is where it all needs
but they're
to
not
go.
going to do that in the new TV series, are they? It's just going to be
I'm not sure
another.
about the engineers though, because David has pretty much wiped the engineers out. They're gone.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Well,
you
I
can't
think
really bring them back.
because in the Alan Dean Foster's book, they actually thought the aliens were weapons made for a war, and that's where I thought they should have stayed with that.
Mm-hmm.
But it offered to me. Look, I enjoyed it. I watched it twice. I liked the characters. I thought the pacing, but the ending when I saw the
Engineer hybrids, yeah.
I mean, they basically took everything from everything, mashed it up.
Resurrection, resurrection.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
The dog hybrid was quite good, but then they did the human alien hybrid in the fourth movie, and it's like, well, aren't they all fucking alien human hybrids? So why does this one look different? And it was shit.
Yeah.
Then they did the Fred alien, that was shit. So why the hell did they think this one would work? I don't get where they were coming from.
I thought the scenery, the acting, the sets. You got the feeling of it.
The cast were great. The woman was a hero. The guy who was an arsehole, you can't wait for him to get his face ripped off. You know, the guy playing the android was brilliant. The
He was
guy
great.
they had that did Rook.
Rook, Rook, yeah.
As I said to you, they have lifted that straight from Alien Isolation. Even the bit where he betrays him at the end, I think, is verbatim from the game.
But the other good thing about it was that another point I agree with Malcolm on. I found the facehuggers more scary than the actual xenomorphs. The facehuggers were more scary than the
There was a lot of them. We never saw the eggs this time.
That's what I loved about it. I think that's what kept me. You see the potential of the facehuggers. They're more scary than the actual xenomorphs.
It was kind of the other bit with the third act is that the ship was clearly full of alien, like the xenomorphs in the first place. So why were they allowed to walk around the space station for hours on end before these xenomorphs attacked them? Surely these xenomorphs must have been waiting, desperate for new young blood. So why did they wait until the very end? It's all very.
Where did they get all the face huggers from? Were there loads of eggs or something on the ship?
Cloned them.
Oh, they cloned them.
They cloned
them.
them.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
But the other thing as well, as somebody said to me, the space station that drifted into the planet's orbit,
Romulus.
That planet would have detected that drifting into the solar system.
Yeah, but wouldn't anybody wouldn't any Wayland Yutani officers or anything just taking their own ship?
Have immediately gone to it.
How come everybody ignored it? Everybody ignored it apart from these young people on the.
Oh God! And I have to say another bit as well. The ship that comes off and spins out of control, doing just enough damage to fuck everything up along the way. And then, oh God, we need the ship to still be inside. So it just magically ends up going back into a hangar bay and crashing.
Even that was a bit like, it was perfect. How can Earth?
And the woman who falls backwards actually falls 20 feet, lands on a metal railing on her back, bounces, falls another 20 foot, and then gets up and walks away. Come on.
Do you know, I had me in stitches when she were giving birth to it? And it fighting out between her legs. I couldn't stop laughing. I spat my tea out when I saw that. She's got her legs wide open. She's screaming after she injected that goo stuff.
Yeah.
And suddenly she fired an egg out between her legs. This egg fired, and I rewound it. I thought, oh, fuck off. No. And this egg fired out between her legs. And I thought, fair enough.
So she turned into a chicken.
Yeah, the gun. I thought but I couldn't take it seriously. I mean, it was all right. I mean, would I watch it again? I've watched it twice, and I think it'll be a while before I go back to it.
I'm going to watch it. I've watched it once in the cinema, once on my copy.
I understand. Like I said, I know I don't like the self-aiming guns because it's stupid, and the idea behind that is so you can have a young kid who's done nothing shoot aliens. But the thing is, if you watch, that gun gets a headshot every single time. So why, even if you're an inexperienced kid, why do you need to keep the trigger down, blasting all your ammunition? You only just keep pushing the trigger once.
And the Colonial Marines,
it'll just keep hitting them in the head.
And why didn't the Colonial Marines have that? That was 50 years later.
Now, guys, sorry to interrupt, but my Zoom has suddenly realised I've only got 1 minute to go before we got to reset. So I think we can't wrap up in 58 seconds. So let's just come back in a second and just finish up. Sorry, guys. Is that all right with both of you?
Sorry.
Is that all
Yeah,
right?
no, I'm good.
All right, so we'll be right back in a minute and we'll just finish off our review. Sorry about this.
Yeah, no,
Okay, sorry about that. The usual Zoom hassles, but we're back just to finish off the review. It's one of those films where obviously we've talked a lot about it. What else do we want to talk about this film? Any other pros and cons? Because, like I said, this film we have talked about a lot in recent weeks, so we just want to finish off with the actual rating and any other things that you think was worth a mention. Martin.
I thought the robot, the android thing was going to go full. He was going to be taken over by what you put in and Rook talking to him, and then he was going to do that whole tired kind of, oh, that human emotion you call love has caused me to break my programming, and he saves us. I'm really glad.
Sort of data kind of thing, or
yeah.
That is a
back out.
I mean, he sort of was more intelligent. He spoke a bit more. He was less innocent. But yeah, I'm surprised. I suppose they must have thought it's such a cliche. It's been done so many times in so many movies.
Very good.
You say they've also put themselves into a corner as well.
What's that?
Because now I like that. I was very impressed with the beginning, the Nostromo. But then that means 50 years later, when Ripley blew the Queen out of the airlock, the Queen covered itself in a cocoon and it's floating around out there.
Which is why it wasn't a Queen, and two, I really don't like the idea of that. And how that thing survived.
But I assume the next one would be probably set after Aliens.
Why would you think that?
Because now they've changed the whole thing of the alien. When it got shot out of the airlock, you thought it was destroyed, but it could survive in space. So the Queen is out there. It's out there floating around in space.
The one from Aliens where she drops it out.
Yeah. I don't think they'll do that. I think it's too obvious they'll do that. I mean,
I think that's where they're gonna go. I think.
But I mean, mind you, you could do a thing where they would end up in stasis at the end. It could be again that because wasn't it supposed to be 3 years to get to the planet they want to get to at the end of the film? How many years was it going to be? Because they were trying to get a power source to get them to this other planet, weren't they? Where they wanted to get away from the Utani place that they were based at in this film. But
10 months, I think it was 10 months.
So walk me through the timeline of this, because
it will be about
57 years.
Yeah, I was going to say it'll be about 37 years.
Yeah,
but this is set 20 years after the first one. So isn't it about 37 years until Aliens compared to
So Aliens now is Alien 3. Alien 3 full of Northerners. And he doesn't like Northern people. That's now Alien 4. So Alien
5 Resurrection now, and Alien 6.
Well, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they've fucked up the entire timeline. Where does...
I mean, if they... Okay.
No, they have, haven't they? They have. I mean, you start now. So the first film you start with Alien. I mean, there's an order.
Yeah, but they knew about it. In Alien, they knew about this. They were trying to get a xenomorph specimen. They
did, because they sent the ship, because aliens have been on Earth, haven't they?
No, because that's Alien versus Predator.
It was only until Covenant they changed the canon.
No,
exactly. So the aliens
still part of the canon.
They weren't invented by then. No,
it's still part of the canon.
It's not. It's a separate universe.
It's gone. Forget about it.
So I cannot believe you're bringing that up.
Timeline-wise, it starts
we've got Covenant. I fucking hate Covenant.
I didn't
I've never even seen the ending of it.
I didn't mind it. I liked it.
I hate it.
But in terms of you saying they've messed up the timeline, they haven't really, because if you assume there's Alien, then after Alien they discover where the Nostromo is, and they go and they look.
I get that.
We found that. They fail to get the alien there, which is why they then put a colony on fucking LV-426 to try and spark the aliens there that they can then go and get later on. So timeline-wise, it does follow.
Yeah, no, but then but the aliens have been on Earth, haven't they?
No, they haven't.
But
No.
they
Yes,
haven't, though, have they?
Yes, now.
That
It's not.
AVP thing.
They
It's
made
not
the
the same.
film.
No.
All part of the
No.
canon. When you
No.
bought the box set, they're all in
No.
there.
I don't care. They're not. No.
Nonsense.
Absolute
I
crap.
bought the Alien Head
Bollocks.
box set,
Bollocks.
and the films were included in.
No, I don't care. They're not. They're completely. They're just
It's
a
not there.
money grabbing piece of shit kind of thing, and use the Alien franchise as the permanent predator.
I like Prometheus. I thought Prometheus was amazing.
Apart from it has that one massive scene that they always use in films where somebody runs in a straight line and then she gets crushed. Just run sideways, mate.
Yeah.
That thing's not going to turn. It'll just keep going. All you got to do is run the other way. That's all you've got to do.
And they always do that.
Run until it catches me up.
I think I agree. I think the future of this has got to be I think you can still have an alien movie, but I think it should focus now on the engineers. And I think
They've done them. They've done them. No.
Yeah, I don't think engineers. I just think we just go on with how nefarious. Do some TV series of the nefarious things of Weyland Yutani.
That's
and
what I mean.
Maybe throw a xenomorph in it later on. Like maybe they're looking for them and can't find them or something.
Because they're very, very dodgy company.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was more interesting that when she's finally bought her way off the planet and they kick the goalposts out from under her. I wanted to see more of that, to be fair. But I want more of that kind of you bastards.
It was like when she wanted to get another job. They said, "Well, no, you've got to work your contracts off."
Another 5 years, another 5 years or something.
And that was just awful, you know. I mean,
you know. So I think that world could work quite nicely.
Yeah, I do, and I think we need to bring the Colonial Marines back now.
I was just about to say, Colonial Marines taking on something else. I mean, we get that famous line, "Oh, it's just another bug hunt." So, A, what else have you been used to fight, like human-wise, and B, what other bugs have you been sent out to go and get? And
I mean, do you think then that is a big kind of void that they need to have, something which is interesting in respect of a brand new alien species which aren't related to xenomorphs, which have their own unique perspectives, which needs to be thrown into the mix? And do you think maybe it's been overdue to have that?
There's be a reason why those troops weren't bothered. When she said it was an alien, they were just like, yeah, whatever, because, you know, they faced other aliens that weren't these.
Yeah, that's the only time. That's the only time that it's actually mentioned that there are other, at least what we consider other alien life forms in this franchise, which we're not aware of.
The other problem is they have gone down the quasi-cosmic religion path as well. It's like how the engineers gave the human race heaven, and we destroyed it, and they want to wipe us out. Even because the engineers are out there somewhere. That planet in Covenant is not them. That's just some colony they created. The engineers are out there, and I think that's where all this should be going now. That the human race meets the creators, and there's a standoff. I think that's where we should be going now.
Yeah, I mean,
they have opened the door to that. The door's open.
I thought they were all killed off, though.
No, they're still out there. There's some out there.
You know, what you'll end up, though, if they go down that route, is you'll end up with us using the xenomorphs to wipe out the engineers, and then having to wipe out the xenomorphs after that. That's kind of the only script you're going to get from that.
And then, but you bring the predators in then.
God, no.
Yes, you do. You bring them in.
As well.
Sod the predators.
Cyberman.
No. He's just stirring tonight. He's just doing.
I'm not. Look, years ago. No, Malcolm made a very good point. Years ago.
What?
Dark Horse Comics brought out Colonial Marines and Aliens and Predator. It was a graphic novel that come out years ago, and it's about how the Predators are running the aliens. Colonial Marines turn up on this planet, and it all kicks off, and it's an amazing story. And I think that stands within that universe. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I really do. And then they did Terminator versus Predator versus Alien. No, they did. Yeah, they did.
God, no!
You know what? I think I've got a Batman versus Predator.
I remember that.
I know there's Wonder Woman versus Alien.
I've got Superman versus.
What about Mr. Tumble versus Mr. Bean? You know, I mean, it's like fuck this. It's like
come on, the Predators are part of it now.
No. Look, we did this segment years ago. Predator versus. We did everything. Predator versus the Hulk. Predator versus Arnold J. Rimmer.
Yeah.
It was like, no, I don't like these mixing of these.
The only way they should have,
franchises.
if they wanted to do the Predator versus Alien, it shouldn't have been on Earth and it shouldn't have been set in the past. They
No,
should have
you
just done it
do
on
it
their
like
own,
that.
like
Yeah.
the planet in Predators.
Actually, no. Do you know what? We're going back to the alien species that we're not. If they did that in the actual contemporary, well, not contemporary, but in the time periods of these films in the future,
Yeah.
I would have been much more up for that. Absolutely. That's half the problem. It was like a queen alien in like Antarctica or something. And it was crap.
I actually thought that were quite good.
No, it
The
doesn't
second
fit
film-
in. It doesn't fit in with the
But the
series.
second film, Requiem, I've seen that film I've got it on Blu-ray.
I've got
But
a copy of that.
But the only part of it I ever remember is when it grabs that woman and basically spits all the eggs down into her mouth.
Yeah. I know. In the
Only
nursery,
scene I
yeah.
remember. I don't remember
I-
anything else about the rest of the film.
I
It's
think,
so
I
dark
think
as
there is tracks to going somewhere else with all this, and I think there should be another alien race out there somewhere.
Well, I'll be up for that. I mean, but
I do something opposite to the engineers. Something.
Yeah, but if you imagine the engineers were creating the xenomorphs or that black goo,
That black goo,
yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah.
because David created the xenomorphs. If they created the black, there must be an enemy that they were fighting that they did
Yeah,
it
there
for.
was.
So
Yeah.
let's see them. Let's see them.
That's
come
what
back.
I
Let's
was
see-
thinking. They could be
Let's
just.
go our final conflict and just go off on a complete tangent for the last series.
I still think that this discussion does show that there is a bit of a limitation in Alien unless they do something radically different in the future.
That's Wayland Yutani.
Yeah, like you say, you don't want to say, okay, let's mix an alien with a horse, let's mix it with a goat, let's mix.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's just mix it with a
hamster.
spider.
Yeah.
Crying out loud. Let's just
Exactly.
have a massive
Spider morph,
alien
yeah,
hybrid
yeah.
spider. Really
Yeah, I think
fucking
that-
yeah.
I think they should bring in a new alien race, something opposite to the engineers, ancient, and you can have a xenomorph in it, but it's
gonna be another-
It's all Wayland Yutani. It's about, I mean, the politics, the board, and all these dodgy people, and you know.
But it's got to have a horror factor. So another alien race would have to, because horror is the main genre of Alien. So
Well,
it has to be another
Aliens is
destructive.
an action film. There's no horror in Aliens.
No,
really.
but yeah, I mean generally. I mean, I know.
But you could say, like, millions of years ago, there was an ancient war between two great races. You know, and if there's some engineers survived, so did the other lot, and they make an appearance.
I just keep thinking that the more you say this, I keep thinking, well, they've done this so many other films.
But
in
where are you
similar
going to
time.
go with? You can't keep having.
That's what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm saying. That this
Well,
is
what
a
if-
limited format, and it can't
There
go
you go.
much further.
They have
What if-
doorways out that can go somewhere.
What if the other race
There's
made the-
doorways there for them to get out of it.
But what if the other race made the black goo to fight the engineers, and the engineers made us to fight them, and we just weren't good
I
enough?
think that'd work. I think that would work, yeah.
You know,
There was
and that's
an
why they were getting rid of us. They were just wiping the drawing board and starting again.
Yeah,
And all that black goo on their ship
think
is just because that ship was infected.
I'm
I
thinking.
think you have to go down the TV series. I think Wayland Yutani discovers something new, some form of technology, something ancient, and it awakes, and that's where you take it, you know, and then you bring in colonial marines to deal with it.
Well, I mean, from what we understand, there's going to be at least some other continuation. We know there's already a TV continuation, or in the franchise, whether it's linked with this. Obviously, I doubt it will be, but it will be something to do with Xenomorphs or something.
When's that coming out? Do you know?
I've not heard anything for
No, I
months
haven't. I've
about
not
it. It's
heard
been
anything.
really, really quiet. The last I heard, it's going to be in 2025, but it has gone very, very quiet. I'm wondering whether they're actually thinking about this film, which has done quite well, and whether they're going to tweak it, make it slightly
Yeah,
different.
don't go back into another film. Stick with your TV series. But like I said, I think TV series, they want to look at a Colonial Marines TV series, a Wayland Yutani, a Bastards TV series, leave the Xenomorphs for a few years, and then bring
And
them
go
back.
somewhere.
Yeah, but
new.
the people who watch it will want to see the Xenomorphs. They'll have to put them in
And,
the
and
TV
don't
series.
forget, there is the. You'll probably shoot me down for this, but I'm going to stick by it.
Go on.
The film with Kurt Russell. What's that film where they throw him on a planet? And
Oh, Enemy Mine.
Soldier?
Soldier, that's it.
Oh,
Yeah,
Soldier.
yeah.
Soldier.
Well, that's connected to the Blade Runner and Alien universe, and the Alien universe is meant to be.
Yeah, I don't know why I said Enemy Mine because Kurt Russell wasn't in that. But yeah, Soldier. Yeah,
the Alien universe is meant to be set, rumored within. It's connected to Blade.
Yeah, you
Runner.
talked about this before. I remember you saying this before.
Because I think it's in the first you see the Tyrell Corporation pop up in Aliens or Alien, and you see it Tyrell Corporation. Yeah.
Well, look, let's
and they do make synthetic beings, don't they? I mean, we could. What about synthetic? There could be something there with them. You know, the Sims.
I think what we should do. Let's wrap things up now, guys. Let's finish off with obviously. Let's give this a rating out of 10. I'll ask you first, Martin, because I think you're similar to me, but you might your perspective might have changed.
Well, none of my friends. Well, firstly, one or two of my friends did not like it at all. Sure. And I can say why they didn't like it after what they told me. I'm going to give it a 7.
Okay.
And I would have it in the collection, yes.
Okay. Malcolm.
I honestly, I would give it a 7, but the third act and the hybrid was so fucking bad. I am going to have to drop it down to a 6.
Well, I'm going to give it a 7.5 because I actually still really liked it. I still think that you're both right in your perspectives, and there are a lot of problems with it. But I think I just came out of the cinema and I thought, yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that. I'm going to give it a 7.5, and I've seen it twice, and I still got a good feeling about it.
It's still better than any other in the franchise other than Alien and Aliens. It's still better than all the rest, I think.
Well, that's a big compliment in its own right from you, Malcolm.
Yeah.
So I mean,
as I say, Covenant. I like Covenant and Prometheus, and they'll kind of the three of them will kind of spin around each other.
That's where you go with
the third slot. Yeah,
that's the way out. Yeah. That's their way out.
It's definitely better than 3, and it's definitely better than 4. And we just forget about AVP.
I think
some of us do.
Yeah, no, but I think like with Covenant, I'm no fan of Covenant, but with Prometheus, I think that, I mean, you could do a say about Wayland himself and how he discovers all this and get into it. There is a way out somewhere different. There is somewhere different to go. But if to keep going down path at monster and human alien,
that's the only thing I'm worried about. That
it's like you say, how many more times can you be running down?
Yeah, that's exactly the problem. That's the actual aspect. I think that's the problem with the actual.
We've had the fear factor of it coming.
It's done. There's only more. So many times a xenomorph can burst out of a person's chest and then runs away, and then it's creeping up on them. It's about 8 foot tall and. You know what I mean?
If I find it, I'm going to send you. So apparently, the original ending to Alien, the original ending was the alien killed Ripley as well, and then settled into one of the hyperspace things and went. And Ridley Scott wasn't allowed to do that. So some fan has made a kind of and he's done it in the style of like footage that hasn't been finished up. Of the alien basically killing her through her mask, and then it's going around flicking switches and setting coordinates on the thing before it goes into, and it looks awful. It's just like the very idea that these aliens are that intelligent is just like, come on, fuck off, man. But yeah, that's quite funny. But yeah, that was Ridley Scott's original ending. Was that Ripley got killed as well?
Yeah, could have been interesting.
It won't work, would it? It just won't work, would it? That it's terrible. I mean, so after it's done there. It's getting switches on and getting the ship going.
Yeah. Gets into the old hypersleep thing and goes to sleep and waits till he's discovered and then fucking hijinks when they find him again. I
think for the first 2 films, I think they went as far as you could with fear factor with it. I don't think there's anything else you can do.
Yeah, I think from my perspective, like I said, this film has actually highlighted the fact that it partly works because apart from Covenant and the Prometheus, there's not a lot of alien films really. Again, Alien versus Predator, but I don't count those as alien films. It's just a cheap money making scheme just to use 2 IPs into a mixed thing.
Can I just interject?
It's the never say never again of the aliens.
Yeah.
The worst money-making film I ever saw of 2 characters was Freddy. Was it Freddy Krueger and Jason?
Versus Jason. I
don't even think I've watched that one.
I don't know if I've watched that either.
Do you know what? I've got another box
review it if you want.
Of all the right of all the Nightmare on Elm Street films, and I've still only ever watched the first 3.
Yeah,
I think I got to.
I
I got to 4. I think I got to 4.
I wanted to watch the one where the cast are attacked by Freddy. That looked like Freddy's Nightmares or something. That looked like quite an interesting one where the cast of the film.
Oh, actually, that's quite. Yeah, I've not seen that one.
You know,
So
the
it's on the
sequel.
box set, but I've never watched it.
I never
The
watched it.
sequel to Freddy versus Jason was going to be Freddy versus Chucky.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's what they were planning. Yeah.
Freddy,
And,
Jason.
I don't like these crossovers. As
Michael
for
Myers.
Not that.
Batman versus Superman, I mean, a lot of them just don't work, do they? Alien versus.
Oh, has anybody seen?
I didn't mind that.
Has anybody seen
No.
Chucky the series?
No.
No, not yet. I keep
No,
looking
no,
at it.
just wondered.
I'd want to watch the 3 films again first.
Yeah.
Have you
I
watched
think I've
the
only seen
remake?
the first 2 Chucky films. I
I
think.
saw the one with the female doll, where there was the lady one.
Yeah,
I can't
Have you
really
seen
remember.
Last one
You've
I
got
saw.
Bride of Chucky, Child of
That's
Chucky.
it, yeah.
I don't want to go and do them. I don't want to watch them again because obviously, Child's Play 3 was obviously blamed for a very, very brutal murder that we had in the
Oh,
country.
it was.
back in
Yeah,
the
I
day,
remember
yeah.
that.
And I've always had in the back of my mind to not watch anything to do with the franchise since that, which is a little unfair.
Yeah.
But yeah, it always brings it forward, that particular murder.
All right, well, guys, that's really interesting. Thank you both for joining me. Next week we're going to be reviewing District 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Film.
Yeah, brilliant.
Which I don't know why I haven't done it before, but I suddenly thought about it. I thought, yeah, that's a really clever one, and I think I'll give it a rewatch this week before.
I'm going to have to
next-
get another copy of that because I bought that on Blu-ray along with Chappie, and I lent them to my brother-in-law, and I've never got them back.
Oh,
And I think they're in Poland now, so I'm going to have to get another copy of that.
all right. Well, I'm sure you can find somebody who can get you a copy. That should be easy to do at some point. Okay, Martin and Malcolm, thank you very much for joining me. It's always fun to have you both on board.
Anyways.
So we'll be back next week on the Solar One Sci-Fi Podcast. Live long and prosper. Thank you.
Live long and prosper. Yeah.
Guide the way on the Solar and Sci-Fi Podcast, where sci-fi holds sway, exploring the realms of sci-fi's domain, reviewing old classics and what's new in the game from galaxy.
Star Trek: The Next Generation.